Shalom Aleichem and welcome to online Smicha. You look around lately, you see that it became a big fad amongst many groups of Chassidim and many people in general. It's not only a Chassidish thing anymore, that they travel to Kivrei Tzadikim in Europe, in Uman, in different parts of Eretz Yisrael, and people are always going to Kivrei Tzadikim. And of course, these are all Mekaymis Kedoshim, and we always attribute it to what it says about Keva Rachel, that Mesa Alai Rachel, and Yaakov Avinu buried her in middle of the way. So when the story of the Meraglim would happen, they would have where to daven. So we see that Hishtadchus, to daven in the cave of a tzaddik, is a very important thing, and it's a Matan Kaddish. And we know from the Dinim that Erev Rosh Hashanah, and it even says in Hilchos Tisha B'Av, that on days like auspicious days like those, you spend some time davening at the resting place at the oil of a tzaddik. But I came across quotes from Rishonim that might be shocking how important and how great the resting place of a tzaddik is, and how much emphasis may be placed on it. The Ran, who is the Rabbeinu Nissim, who is a Talmud of the Ramban, according to many, he was the Talmud of Ramban, writes in the Sefer Drashas Haran, Drush Hashmini, he writes like this: Nobody argues. Al Goydel Malas Kedushas Talmidei Chachamim. Everybody agrees how special and how holy Talmidei Chachamim are. Asher ba'oidam b'chayim chayusam heim. When they are alive in their spirit, in their body, heimoin u'mishkan l'shchina hakdosha. They are a dwelling place, a source for a place for the Shechina Hakdosha to dwell. Ve'ein suffix, says the Ran, there is no doubt in my mind, shenamin, that we have to believe today, that shekamoy bisman shebeis hamikdash hayakayim, just like during the time when the Beis Hamikdash was around. So the most holiest place where the Shechina would dwell was in the Beis Hamikdash, and from there the Nevuah came. The prophecy, as we know, that Yonah had his Nevuah in the Beis Hamikdash, Shemchas Beis HaShe'eva time, and all Chachma come from the Beis Hamikdash. Ad shebe'emtzoos hamokim ahu hayeshefei al kol Yisrael. From there it trickled down to all Jews everywhere. King Roy, you have to know, so too today. Sheyiyu hanavim hachachamim muchanim lekabel hachachma v'nevuah. That the Nevi'im of today are the Beis Hamikdash, and they get the Chachma, and they get the Nevuah, and from them trickles down all the Shefa, all the abundance, and all the brachas on everybody else. All right, so that you might think is only a tzaddik of the generation who is alive. Says the Ran further, Loi b'chayei bilvad. This is not, I'm not saying only while the tzaddik is alive. Ki gam achrei moisam. Mikoimes kivreiseyem ru'uyim lihimatza ha'shefa sham b'tzad min ha'tzdadim. The resting place, the makom kavura, the oil of the Nevi'im, the tzaddikim, is still that same makom ha'mikdash. Ki atzmeiseyem. Because their bones, their physical body, absorbed such a holy spirit of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, adayin nishar behem. It's still left with them from that auspicious, from that great spirit they achieved. This is the reason what Chazal tell us, that it's proper and worthy that a person should go to daven by the caver of a tzaddik, because davening there, just like davening in the Beis Hamikdash, obviously is the kivesi veis tefillah. That's the place where the tefillahs go through. So a place of the tzaddik is the place of the Beis Hamikdash. And others, he is quoted about other halachic authorities that when they wrote a hesped, a eulogy on Rabbi Yosef Cairo, they said, "L'shichnoi tidrishu uvasa shama." You should make a point to go to the place of where the Rabbi Yosef Cairo is buried, and that's where the Shechina is dwelling. So it's amazing how the Rishonim back then already said that the resting place of a tzaddik is quote unquote the makom similar to the makom hamikdash. Connecting to a tzaddik b'chlal is not a new thing. That's a pasuk in the Torah. The pasuk says uvoi sidbak, that you have a mitzvah to cling, to connect to a tzaddik, to a Talmud Chacham. That's a mitzvah, it's the same in the Torah. What is the benefit? So the practical benefit is a person is always guided. A person is always his midos, his behaviors is based on who his friends are, who he hangs around with. In this case, if you are tidbak l'Talmud Chacham, tidbak tareba, you're going to have some of that. It's so important. It's so important that it says about the Chayzim Lublin. The Chayzim Lublin every day would daven and say, "Thank you, Hashem, for sending down the neshama of Levi Yitzchak Mibaditchev into this world." That's how much he appreciated having a Rebbe to cling to. The Gemara says in Masechta Shabbos, the Gemara says if God forbid there's a fire in Shabbos, so there's certain things you're allowed to carry out of the house to save, because not everything you can't violate Shabbos just for financial gain. Certain things they allow you. Obviously, if there's a Sefer Torah, you for sure have to save the Sefer Torah from the Chas v'Shalom, from the fire. The question the Gemara discusses, what happens the Tik HaSefer, the bag of the Sefer, the garment that we cover over the Sefer. And says the Gemara that once you are saving the Torah, once you are saving the Sefer, because this covered the Torah, this connected to the Torah, you could save it too. Rabbi Isai, a person who connects to a tzaddik, who connects to a Talmud Chacham, wherever he goes, you go. So, uboy sidbak, connecting to a lebedik tzaddik, connecting to a makom kavura of a tzaddik, which is a lebedik tzaddik. That is the makom mishkan. That is the makom of the Shechina, where the Shechina dwells, and that is how you fulfill, one way of fulfilling, connecting with the Kadosh Baruch Hu.